Welcome to this introductory video on ethical reasoning, approaches to analyzing ethics, and moral actions. The goal of this video is to provide you with the big picture regarding the concepts you will be exploring throughout this module and in your course. To begin, traditionally ethics has investigated the problem of values as they relate to human conduct. In order for you to fully understand and articulate the approaches to analyzing ethics and moral actions, we need you to understand the various approaches and the questions that lead us to that philosophy. But before we start delving into this idea, we need to make sure you understand some basic concepts that we'll be using throughout this module. First, ethics is the study of what is right and good. It comes from the Greek word ethos, meaning habit. Morals are codes of conduct. They are the actions that we make based on our ethics. Virtue is the ability to do something well. In ethics, virtue is the ability to be moral on a consistent basis. Finally, value is an assessment of worth. In ethics, value defines those behaviors or actions that we deem important. Now that we are on the same page regarding these terms, we are ready to begin. Thinking ethically helps us to answer the big life questions. These are questions like, how should we seek solutions to our personal questions about sex, love, friendship, or to the social problems of homelessness, teenage pregnancy, racism, and sexism? What values should we nurture in our own private lives and in the public life of our communities? Once you've determined your big ethical question, the next step is to determine answers to a number of additional questions, like, is ethics about doing or being? Can we argue about how one ought to act? Are there universal moral codes? Is being ethical about intent or final consequences? Answers to these questions will lead you to the fundamental approaches that you will be exploring throughout your course. It is important to learn the definitions, insights, and terms as they relate to each of these approaches. It is equally important that you understand the position problems of each approach. It is through this understanding, the ability to think logically through the assumptions made in determining the approach you are taking and the consequences of those assumptions, that you will be able to apply various approaches to the ethical problems you are exploring in your course. More importantly, it will allow you an opportunity to evaluate and articulate your own belief system. So where do you start? Explore how you arrive to the various approaches we are studying. Understand the key points for each approach, including their definitions and position problems. Apply various approaches to ethical problems within your course and life. And finally, evaluate which of these approaches fits within your own belief system. In the end, does the information change your own beliefs? Do you really believe what you thought you did? These questions and more can be answered through your exploration into ethical reasoning.